Hello my dear friends, welcome again to this presentation where I will be solving few more problems. This is in continuation with my last video which I had sent for problem solutions. We have solved convolution property problems, and one problem extra was solved in the end related to IR system properties, that is impulse response representation system properties. In this presentation, we will be solving further few problems, maybe around 8 problems we will be solving, which will completely cover almost all types of numerical questions that can be asked in this particular module. To begin with the, sorry, because of sensitive, my device is very sensitive. Yes, you can see h of n is not equal to 0 for n not equal to 0. Therefore, system is not memoryless. The system has memory. Now let us repeat the same problem, that is this problem, this particular problem. Let us repeat. See this problem I am taking now. H of n is equal to 0.99 to the power of n into u of n plus 3. See 0.99, it is less than 1 to the power of n into u of n plus 3. What kind of signal it is? It is also a falling exponential. See, because it is 0.9 and fraction, it is 0.99. When you raise to the power of n, no, where n is an integer, if you write 0.9 to the power of n, no, as n increases, no, overall value decreases. That means as n increases, and as you find new values of signal, the overall value decreases. It is a falling exponential. But this exponential starts where? That is the question. Because it is into u of n plus 3, this exponential starts at n is equal to minus 3. That is left of the origin. So therefore, this is a special case now, not like the previous problem. It is a different case. Let us solve this. So here actually what actually same procedure will follow. We will try to find the stability property first. For that, let us see whether the impulse response is absolutely summable or not. That is, we will make use of this formula. This formula must converge. If this formula converges, that is, if you add all the values of h of n, then if it is a finite, then system is stable, otherwise system is unstable. Let us try to apply this formula. Now as you can see, the signal actually starts at n is equal to minus 3, I told, no. Therefore see the limits of integration now. Limits of integration is k is minus 3 to infinity, whereas previously we wrote 0 to infinity, no. Because the signal starts at minus 3, the summation starts at k is equal to minus 3 up to infinity, 0.99 to the power of k. Now once again the value of alpha is less than 1, no. Therefore you can apply the converging formula. Now the problem is, see, in the convergent formula, no, the lower limit should start from 0. But lower limit starts from minus 3 here, no. You cannot directly apply the formula therefore. Because lower limit not starting from 0, we cannot apply that geometric series formula straight away. You have to modify this lower limit. How to modify the lower limit? What I am doing is, to make the lower limit 0, to start from 0, my aim is I will bring minus 3 to the left hand side. When I bring minus 3 to the left hand side, it becomes k plus 3 is equal to 0. Just that all I did. I simply moved minus 3 to the left hand side. I combined with k. It became plus 3. K plus 3 is equal to 0. Now this k plus 3, no, this k plus 3 I am replacing by m. See, I'll put m is equal to k plus 3 purposefully. I'll put m is equal to k plus 3 so that lower limit starts from 0. Now m is equal to k plus 3. Therefore, wherever k is there, replace by m minus 3. So m is equal to k plus 3 means what? If you want to find the equivalent of k, bring 3 to the other side. So either m is equal to k plus 3 or k is equal to m minus 3. Wherever k is there in the entire expression, no, you replace it by m minus 3, because here then k is there. See here, 0.9 to the power of k, no, in the place of k write m minus 3. So lower limit is 0, upper limit is infinity. Now limits, no, limits also you can verify. See now because the equation when I replace k plus 3 by m, no, the limits also should be changed. Now when k is minus 3, m is, I'll use this expression k plus 3, no. In this expression put k is equal to minus 3. So m is 0. So that is a lower limit. If k is infinity, for example here k is infinity, what is m? In the place of m is equal to k plus 3, in the place of k put infinity. Infinity plus 3 is infinity. So when range of k is -3 to infinity, before I substitute, after I substitute, range of m is 0 to infinity. See, my purpose is solved. Now in this expression, I will include all these things. All these things, I will include in this expression and rewrite this expression involving wherever k plus there is there, replace m. Wherever k is there, replace by m minus 3. Now k should be changed to m. That's all. So what I do is this. What I get is this. See here. Here actually. Here actually k plus 3 is there, no? I written m is equal to 0. Here k is there, no? K, I am written m minus 3 because see, k is equal to m minus 3. See, k is equal to m minus 3, no? Therefore, I written like this. Now using mathematics, I will separate this. That is, I can write this as 0.99 to the power of m into 0.99 to the power of minus 3. I can separate it, no? 0.99 to the power of m into 0.99 to the power of minus 3. 0.99 to the power of minus is a constant. I have taken outside. I am taking it outside the summation. See, I am brought it outside because it is a constant. Now only what remains is this expression. Now this expression, I can easily apply my geometric series formula where alpha is less than 1. It is an infinite series problem now because the limit goes from 0 to infinity, for which I can apply this formula. See, this formula I can apply easily. That is, in the place of m is there, in the place of alpha 0.9 is there, and also that 0.9 is less than 1. Therefore I can apply this formula. A final answer is whatever this constant into 1 by 1 minus alpha, 1 by 1 minus 0.99. See what happens therefore. So this constant into this formula, I applied this formula. See, this formula I applied here. So therefore 1 by 1 minus 0.9. Now this is a constant. See, this is the answer. The total, if I simply simplify this, it will be 103.06, which is finite. Therefore, when I add all the values of impulse response, so I found it is absolutely summable and the total sum is finite, not infinite. Therefore, the system is stable. This system what I have given, 0.9 to the power of n into u of n plus 3 is a stable system. Okay, now what about this property, that is causality and memory? For that, let us go to the next slide. See, now system is causal if h of n is 0 for n less than 0. If I draw the impulse response, if I draw the graph of impulse response, there should not be any value for n less than 0. If there is any value for n less than 0, that system is non-causal. If there are no values, if values of h of n are 0 for n less than 0, the system is causal. Let us see what is the case. Particular problem. See, this is the graph I was telling. See, in this particular case, I have drawn the graph of h of n 0.99 to the power of u of n plus 3. See, graph starts at minus 3. Before that it is 0. And all these values I obtained by putting the value of n in the power. These values, no. So 0.99 to the power of n. Where, for example, put n is equal to 0, you will get 1. N is equal to 1, you will get 0.99. You put n is equal to 2, you will get 0.98. You put n is equal to 3, you will get 0.97. You put n is equal to minus 1, you will get 1.01. As the value increases, see, it is a falling exponential, no. When it goes back, it increases. When you put n is equal to minus 2, you will get 1.02. When you put n is equal to minus 3, you will get 1.03. Now before that, it is 0 because it is u of n plus 3, no. Because when you multiply u of n plus 3, all these values become 0. It starts at minus 3. Now what you can tell about the causality? See, now system started, impulse response started well before 0. Now this impulse response is supposed to start at n is equal to 0 if it is causal. But this system, before I applied the impulse, no, the system started well before that. That means this system knew there is going to be an input later. Therefore it started earlier. I don't know what the reason for that, what kind of system it is, but this behaves like this. That means this system is anticipatory. It anticipated the impulse. That means this system is non-causal or it is anticipatory. This is not causal, it is non-causal and it is anticipatory. See, since h of n is not 0, for n less than 0, the system is non-causal. This system anyway has memory because it has got values even other than n is equal to 0, isn't it? All these values and all these values are those values which are supposed to be 0 for a memoryless system. This system is having memory because there are values other than n is equal to 0. Therefore, this system has memory. This system has memory. This is not a memoryless system. This system has memory because there are too many values other than n is equal to 0. This condition is not satisfied, which is a condition for memoryless system. This system has memory. Likewise, we'll explore further problem. Now in this particular case, h of n is equal to 4 to the power of minus n, u of 2 minus n. This is the graph. This is the graph I am getting. See, this signal is this signal actually, you can plot this graph. I won't explain much because it is a waste of time for me. You will first plot the graph of 4 power of minus n for few values of negative n, for few values of positive n. Then multiply this with the u of 2 minus n. You know how to get u of 2 minus 1. It is a shifted folded signal. It is a shifted folded signal that multiplies to 4 power minus n. 4 power of minus n is a all duration signal. It is left as well as right parts are there. But when you multiply the u of 2 minus n, no, all the values after n is equal to 3 gets cancelled, become 0. See, all these values no are 0. Because you are multiplying with u of 2 minus n, no, all these value gets become 0. Only values remains will be for n less than 2. For n less than 2 up to minus infinity. See, there are so many values. This value keeps on increasing. See, it becomes bigger and bigger as you go to a negative side. As n tends to minus infinity, the value tends to infinity. So it is a falling exponential, but left-sided, small right-sided. Now this is the equation. This is the equation, and this is the graph of the equation. Now you have to find whether the system is stable, whether the system is memoryless, or and also whether the system is causal. Let us first find the stability. Stability for this. See, this is what I get when I write the equation for total sum of the impulse response. So this is the final actual formula I have to apply. Now in this case, h of k is equal to 4 to the power of minus n into u of something. U is 1, no? Therefore in the limit, what is the limit now? What is the limit? Minus infinity to plus infinity becomes minus infinity to 2. Because after 2, signal is 0, no? Therefore I am limiting the signal summation from minus infinity because it starts at minus infinity and ends at 2, only up to 2. At 3 it is 0. Therefore I am not considering. This is what I get. This is what I get. Now I cannot apply the formula directly here because lower limit is minus infinity, upper limit is plus 2. All those things are there, no? I should bring it to the proper form. How to bring it to the proper form? What I do is I will replace, see, 2 I'll write lower limit, minus infinity I will write upper limit. That is summation k is equal to 2 to k is equal to minus infinity, minus infinity 4 to the power of minus k, 4 to the power of minus k. In mathematics, this can be written as, this limit I can reverse, no problem, because summation, no, integration means a negative sign will come here, negative sign. In summation, negative sign doesn't come. So what I'm doing is, I will change the sign actually. See, I'll change the sign. See what I do. Actually, the lower limit is plus 2, upper limit is minus infinity, no? What I'll do is, I'll change this to, I'll change the sign of the limit. I'll write k is equal to, instead of 2, I'll write minus 2. Upper limit, instead of minus infinity, I'll write plus infinity. When I do that, I should change the power of, this alpha. Alpha become plus k. So when I change the sign of the limit, no, so this sign also gets reversed, whatever. Since I am reversing the sign of both upper and lower limit, I am reversing sign of the power of alpha also. This is allowed in maths. This is the formula in maths. I don't know much about this formula, but this is what we do in maths actually. Now the lower limit is minus 2, upper limit is plus 2. Now it is in the proper form. See, now see, this is what I get. In maths, I actually do this quite often. So if you change the sign of the limit, no, you have to change the power of the add end, whatever you have to add. So this is what I get. Now I can see how can I proceed now. Okay, now I'll remove the, see now actually what I am writing here is, See, now I should make the lower limit 0, no, as I do always. To make the lower limit 0, because 0 to infinity formula is there for me. Minus 2 to infinity, I cannot directly apply. Therefore, what I do is, I'll bring this minus sign, no, minus sign to, I'll make it k plus 2. I'll make it k plus 2 is equal to 0. I'll make it k plus 2 is equal to 0. So now I'll put k plus 2 as L. When I bring this to this side, no, k plus 2 is equal to 0, I'll put k plus 2 is equal to L. That means L is equal to 0. See, L is equal to 0. I am in the place of k plus 2, I am writing L. In the place of k plus 2, L is equal to 0. Upper limit is infinity. Now, because L is equal to k plus 2, whatever k is there, it is L minus 2. Because what is, if I bring 2 to this side, k becomes L. Wherever k is there, now k should become L. Whatever is k is there in this should become L. That means 4 to the power of L minus 2. Now I can write this as 4 to the power of L, 4 to the power of L into 4 to the power of minus 2. Minus 2, correct. 4 to the power of minus 2 is a constant. I can take it outside the summation. When I take it outside summation, 4 to the power of minus 2 is 1 by 4 square, 1 by 16. 1 by 16. Now what remains inside the bracket is L is equal to 0 to infinity of alpha 4. See, now 4 is that alpha is greater than 1 now, isn't it? See, if I raise and if I go on adding this, no, 4 to the power of 0 plus 4 to the power of 1 plus 4 to the power of 2, finally, etc. plus 4 to the power of infinity, upper limit. So if I add all this, already 4 to the power of infinity is infinity only, no? If I add all this, it becomes infinity. Because alpha is greater than 1, this is a diverging series. 1 by 16 into infinity is infinity. That means if I try to add all the values, it is quite obvious. You can see here the graph itself. See the graph. If I add this, everything, if I go on adding, the final answer is infinity. That means this system is unstable system because the impulse response is not absolutely summable. Because its sum doesn't becomes finite, sum becomes infinite. Therefore, this system is unstable. Okay, now what about the memory property, causality property? That you can tell by looking into the graph itself, no? Because the impulse response starts before 0 and impulse response is not 0 for n less than 0, the system is non-causal. Because this system started well before the input. Before you apply the input, output started. That means this system is anticipatory or non-causal. Because system values are non-zero for n not equal to 0, the system also has memory. So this system is unstable, the system is non-causal, and the system has memory. That's what you're going to see in the next slide. This is what self-explanatory, you just read it, self-understandable. So it is a memoryless and this is a, so here there is a mistake, I think. I made a mistake here. So this is actually wrong, absolutely wrong. I'm very sorry. So this system is, now here you can see h of n is, I make many such mistakes in some of the slides because of urgency when I do it, when I prepare, some mistakes will creep in. Not equal to 0, no. Therefore, this is a non-causal system, okay. Non-causal system. I'm sorry for the mistake once again. It is a non-causal system, okay. It is not causal. This is absolutely wrong. This is wrong, okay. This is actually not equal to. So it is non-causal, okay. Please correct it in your PDF also. It is, I think it is corrected. If it is not corrected, please correct it, okay. So when you go to this, no, please correct it. It is non-causal because it is not equal to 0. See, all these values are non-zero, no. That means it is non-causal. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is actually once again system is not memoryless. System has memory. Self-explanatory. I won't explain it much. Now most of the problems I'm going to see in future are self-explanatory. Wherever required, then only I'll talk. Yeah. Now this system again you have to repeat. Now we are taking the case of a continuous time signal. Till now we took the case of discrete time signal. Now for the first time we are taking h of t is equal to e power of minus 3t into u of t minus 1. You have to see whether this system is stable, causal, and also memory. That memory they are not given. You also find memory property of the system. Okay, now solution. In case of continuous time system, LTI system, the system is stable only if its impulse response is absolutely integrable. So now let us try to integrate its impulse response. That is, you will integrate for all the limit minus to plus infinity. Let us integrate that integration of the impulse response should be finite. Let us see what happens in our case. This is the graph. We had an equation, no, e to the power of minus. What is that? See this. I think it was e to the power of minus t. It is a falling exponential into u of t minus 1. I think u of t minus 1. That means this falling exponential but starts at 1, delayed by 1, t minus 1. So that's why if it is starting at 0, it would have been like this. It would have been like this. But now this much portion is not there because starts at t equal to 1. So this is what the graph is. E to the power of into u of t minus 1. So what you can tell about this system looking into the graph? Is it absolutely integrable? It is, because see, what is the area under this graph? If I find the total area of the graph, integration means finding area, no? If you integrate the graph from 1 to infinity, because this graph starts at 1 to infinity, so this limit is going to change now. So it becomes 1 to infinity. Total area is finite. See, area is finite. This graph falls, no? If the graph increases, then area is infinite. This graph, actually signal value falls. Therefore, total area bounded is finite. That means this system must be stable. Let us prove it mathematically also. See, this is what I do. I'll integrate this equation starting from 1 to infinity. Why 1 to infinity? Because of this u of t minus 1. The signal starts at 1. So lower limit is 1, upper limit is infinity. Goes up to infinity. E power of minus, it is not minus actually t, it is minus 3 tau. Okay, whatever, it is a decreasing exponential. Because if you put the value of e 3.142, no, you'll see that for increasing value of t, the value of the signal keep on decreasing. If it is positive sign, it is an increased exponential. Suppose if it is e to the power of 3t instead of minus 3, then this signal would have been like this. The signal would have been increased sign, no, because this sign is minus, the signal decreases, the falling exponential. That makes a difference. Okay. Yeah. You just integrate it plus 1 to infinity. So this is the integration of that, and you apply the limits. E power of minus 3 by 3, you'll get finite. This is finite. You can find the value. E power of minus 3 is a finite value. Divided by 3 is, once again, gives rise to some number which is finite. Therefore, this system is stable as we expected by looking into the graph. Okay, now what about the other two property? See, in this case, you can see it's an impulse response. No, you applied the impulse at n is equal to t is equal to 0. No, output started after t is equal to 0. That means the value starts after t and it remains for some time. If the system would have been memoryless, when I applied the input, then only output would have appeared, then disappeared. But here output appears late and also remains for some time. No, this system therefore has memory. This system is memory system. And what about the causality property? Now, since this system is not starting before the application of the impulse, because output starts only after t is equal to 0. No, this system is non-anticipatory because h of t is equal to 0 for t less than 0. That means this system is causal and this system has memory. You can see this explanation for that. Both explanations are given here. Memoryless and also it is causal. Okay, now let us repeat the same for another problem, that is e power of minus t into u of t plus 100. Okay, now what is this signal? What is this impulse response? Can you expect? This is also a falling exponential because e power of minus t, the difference between this and this signal is this falls at faster rate, no? Because this signal is e power of minus 3t. This signal was e power of minus 3t. It falls at much faster rate. Whereas this also falls but at slightly lesser rate because it is 1 into t, minus of 1 into t. It's also falling. But another difference of this signal is it starts at minus 100. Whereas this signal starts at 1, delayed by 1. This signal is advanced. This signal starts at minus 100. That means this signal is going to be of this shape. Okay. It is starting at somewhere here minus 100, well before the 0, well before this minus 100. Then from there it goes on decreasing, goes on decreasing, goes on decreasing. When t is equal to 0, no, at the origin, if you put what is the value of signal at the origin, can anyone tell? You just put t is equal to 0, you'll get 1. So this value is 1. At the origin it is 1. It's keeping on decreasing. So this is the graph. So this is what we get. Same thing we expected, and same thing is there in the graph as well. This is the graph, actual graph of the signal. Graph of the signal. It starts at minus 100 because of e of minus t. It is decreasing exponential, and signal starts at u of t plus 100. No, it starts at minus 100. It is advanced. So what about the stability? Can you, just by looking into graph of h of t, can you tell me what is the stability property, what is the memory, and what is the causality property? I will tell by looking at the graph. Now when I integrate this particular area is finite, because if I integrate area into the graph, as t increases, value keeps on decreasing. No, total area is finite. That means this is a stable system. It's a stable system. Okay, now causal property. Because signal starts well ahead of the input. Now impulse applied at t is equal to 0, but signal starts at t is equal to minus 100, means output appears before the input. That means this system is non-causal or anticipatory. Non-causal or anticipatory. And also you can see system is non-zero for t other than 0. That means system has memory. System has memory. So these all things have been done here. So to find the stability, same thing, integrate its stable system. Let us prove it mathematically. You simply integrate it. Its integration limit is minus 100 to infinity, because signal starts at minus 100, no, and goes up to t is equal to infinity. Therefore this is what, e power of minus t into 1, because u of t plus 100 is 1, you can ignore that. So you can ignore also the mod, because there is not required here, so ignore the mod. Then if you integrate, it will be like this. Apply the limits, you'll get e to the power of 100, which is a finite number, that is 2.69 in 10 power of 43. It's a very, very large number, but still it is finite, less than infinity. Therefore the system is stable. The system is stable. Now it is non-causal, as I said in the beginning, by looking into the graph itself. So it is non-causal because h of t is not 0 for t less than 0. It is non-causal, and system also has memory. It is not memoryless, it has memory. End of the problem. Now let us go on repeating. So now this particular graph. Okay. Now what is a graph for this? What kind of graph it is? Now I think this graph is like this. E power of t will be e power of t. E power of t means it is a rising exponential. Like this, it goes on increasing. It goes on like this. You are multiplying e to the power of t infinity with the u of minus 1 minus t. U of minus 1 minus t. So what it is? How to get u of minus? I think u of minus 1 minus t is, u of t is this. You delay the by 1, then fold it. Fold means it will be like this. This is u of t. So minus 1. This signal is u of minus 1 minus t, isn't it? Minus 1 minus t. Now these two should be multiplied. You'll get the resultant graph. When you multiply these two, so I think you'll get like this. This graph will be like this. Let us see that. You'll get a graph like this. It is increasing, then suddenly becomes 0. So that is at minus 1. This is the graph. This is the equation. That is, this equation, no, will be like this. Will be like this. This whole equation will be like this. Let us see. Yes, it is. See, same what I expected. Same graph. See the expected, no? Same thing I am getting. Same graph. You understood the procedure, no? You draw e power of t. E power of t is a rising signal. It from minus to plus infinity. Then multiply the u of minus 1 minus t. That is a shifted, folded step signal. So that will curtail the signal only from minus infinity up to minus 1. After that, signal becomes 0. Now this system should be stable because the area under the graph is finite. The area starts at minus infinity, ends at minus 1. So integration limits are minus infinity to minus 1. For the you have to integrate this, no? You have to integrate, no? H of t, that is minus infinity is the lower limit, upper limit is minus 1. When you integrate, no, total area will be finite because area is finite. See the area of the graph, because as t tends to minus infinity, the value become almost 0. So total area is finite, system is stable. And also this system is non-causal because for the signal value appears before t is equal to 0. Since signal value appears, that is impulse response appears before t is equal to 0, this system is anticipatory or it is non-causal. And this system has memory because it has got value for t other than 0 also. Because it is non-causal, this system also has memory. Let's see that one by one. Yes, you find the total value of the area. It's integration. It is e power of minus 1, that is 1 by e. It's a finite number. See the integration limit minus infinity to minus 1 e power of t. Yeah, when you do this, you'll get this. So it is a stable system. So it is non-causal. It is not memoryless. End of that problem. Okay, now this signal. See this signal. It's a very peculiar signal, no? H of t is equal to e power of minus 4 modulus of t. Minus 4 modulus of t. What is the meaning of this signal? Minus 4 modulus of t. See, when t greater than now, this signal is appearing everywhere. There is no time limit. The signal starts at minus infinity. The signal starts at minus infinity. It is there at minus infinity. Even goes up to plus infinity. Because there is no time bounding equation, no? It is not time bounding equation. Nothing is mentioned. They mentioned h of t is equal to e power of minus 4 into modulus of t. So this is the origin. So this signal is actually exists everywhere. Now, why it is modulus? What is the meaning of modulus? Modulus means sign of the time. Now, sign of the time. Now, neglect the sign of the time. He says neglect the sign of the time. Okay. Now, when t is positive, for t greater than 0, that is greater than 0, t greater than 0, anyway t is positive, no? This modulus sign has no meaning for t greater than 0. Ignore that. So the graph will be for t, sorry, I wrote the wrong same. For t greater than 0 is this symbol, okay? For t greater than 0, the equation is e power of minus 4 into t, because anyway t is positive, no? So I will take as it is e power of minus 4t. This is the graph. For t greater than 0, this is the graph. That is, it is a falling exponential, no? E power of minus 4t. As you apply the value of t, as you put the value of t, no, the signal value keep on decreasing. It is a falling exponential. It falls like this. It goes on falling like this. Falling exponential. Now, for t less than 0, that is when t's value is less than 0, now while substituting, you substitute only the magnitude of t. Don't substitute as you substitute minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, you know, as you minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. To find the value of the signal at all these points, you take only the magnitude. When you take the magnitude, for example minus 1, when you take magnitude, you substitute only its magnitude 1. You substitute only 1. That means whatever value you had here, no, same value you'll get it back here. Whatever you have the value at 1, same value you'll get it back here. That means signal value starts falling. Okay. Now when you want to find the value of signal at minus 2, you only take the magnitude, not the sign. To find the value at this particular time instant, what is the value of signal? You take only magnitude 2. So whatever value you had here 2, same value here also repeats. Here also, that means signal value is this much, it decreases. That means for any value of time in the negative time axis, take only magnitude. So all the value repeats. That means overall signal value will be like this. So this is what? For t less than 0, no? For t less than 0, it looks like a rising exponential. Correct. If I go left to right, no, it looks like a rising exponential. So this graph is symmetrical. Now you may ask me, what is the effect of this modulus? If modulus were not present, what would have been the graph? If modulus were not present, the graph would have been like this. Like this. See, it keeps on falling. As t becomes negative, no, the value would have increased. Because when you take negative value here, no, minus sign. So e power of minus t into minus c is e power of plus t. So e power of 4t, the value would have increased. Because you are writing e power of minus 4 mod t, the value instead of increasing, it decreased. Same value repeated. Whatever value you found for positive value, time, same value got repeated here. At 4, at minus 4 also same value got repeated, because you are taking only the magnitude. You are not taking minus 4 here. To find the value of signal at instant minus 4, you are taking only the magnitude 4 and substituting here. That means the value decreases instead of increases. Otherwise value would have increased. So for e power of minus 4t, the graph would have been like this. For e power of minus 4 mod t, the graph is like this. So it requires two equations now. This is the graph. Both sided. If you go away from the origin, it is decreasing. Both sided, it is decreasing. Let us see that in the next slide. Oh, in the same slide it is there, no? So I'll use the rubber. So I erase everything. See, this is what the graph is. See, suppose if I remove the modulus here, the graph would have been like this. It could have increased. The graph would have been like this. If it is e power of minus 4 into t. If it is this is the graph. Because of modulus t, this graph instead of increasing, it is decreasing. Because whatever I have the value at 1, same value should come here at minus 1 as well. Because I am taking only magnitude to find the value of the signal. I am not taking sign here. Whatever value of the signal is at 2, suppose t is equal to 2, the same value will come when t is equal to minus 2 also. Because according to the graph, I am not supposed to take the sign. I take only the magnitude 2. The same value repeats. So these values, it's a even graph now. Whatever value here, same value repeats here at the same distance. So the graph becomes even because of modulus of t. Now it is asking whether the system is stable, causal and memoryless. So what is your observation? Yeah, your observation should be, if you find the total area of the graph, what is the extent of the area? That is t is equal to minus infinity to t is equal to plus infinity. T is equal to plus infinity. In this, if you find the area is finite. Integrate it, you will get finite area. Therefore, the system is stable. And also, system is stable. And if you find the causal property, signal value starts well before the t is equal to 0. The left hand side part of the signal is non-zero. That means this system is non-causal. It is anticipatory. Because condition for causality is left side part of the signal should be 0. For t less than 0, h of t should be 0. But it is not the case in this particular problem. Therefore, it is non-causal. And also, the system has memory anyway. Now, how to find the graph. So for that, what you do is you require two graphs now, because there is a discontinuity. This is a discontinuity point. Okay, this point is discontinuity, because this equation is valid only for 0 to infinity, plus infinity. From 0 to minus infinity, different graph equation you will come. Equation for this is e power of minus 4t. The equation for this graph. Equation for this graph, this rise graph is, what is the shape of the graph? It is rising, no? Shape of the graph is rising. There is a discontinuity over here. Over here there is a discontinuity. So the shape of this graph is e power of 4t. E power of 4t. So this is e power of 4t. This is e power of minus 4t. Now let us apply this into the formula. See, I am writing the equation of h of tau integration minus to plus infinity as e power of 4t minus infinity to 0. That is, I am taking this part, this side, plus I am splitting the integral now. Minus to plus infinity, I am splitting as minus infinity to 0. Equation is e power of 4t. From 0 to infinity, equation is e power of minus 4t. Now I am finding the total area by using integration. I get it as half, which is finite. System is stable. System is non-causal. System is not memoryless. Okay, now these are self-explanatory. Now you can see this impulse response. Now once again I am taking the case of a discrete system. H of n is equal to 2 u of n minus 2 u of n minus 1. So what happens if you find this graph? What is the graph of this impulse response? See, if since subtraction takes place right from n is equal to 1, so there only one impulse remains. Only one impulse remains. You try to plot the graph for this, okay? You'll get only one impulse. All other values are zeros. All other values are zeros. All other values are zeros. Graph like this. You'll get the graph like this. Now, what is our idea about stability property, memory, and causality? This system, uh, this system whose impulse response is given is actually stable system, because if I add the impulse value, it is 2, only one impulse is there, all other impulses are 0. That means total value of the sum, if I sum the impulse response, no, if I find the sum, it will be equal to 2 only. Therefore it is a stable system. This system is memoryless because only one impulse appears at the origin, therefore memoryless, and this system is causal. Okay, now likewise few more problems. These are self-explanatory. Please go through this, explain again and again. You can just find it is infinite, therefore this system is not stable. So this is what? Another problem. You only